This is Josiah Plays Kentucky Route Zero. We're back into it. We're still in Act 1, but I think we're near the end of it. And we've just come out of the mine. We've actually got Shannon with us now. We basically have a party of 2 at this point, and we are going to proceed. We're trying to find Weaver again, I think, who now might be at the bait shop. So we're going to head back to the bait shop. This is not the bait shop. This is the farmhouse. I forgot exactly where the bait shop was. I'm not going to lie. Where the fuck was the bait shop? It'd be kind of nice if once you found a location like that, it would just kind of like stay on your map. Found it. Bait shop. Conway and Shannon pull into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign reads, "Live bait. Minnows small and also large for stripers, night crawlers, chips, and beer." A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at eye level. To the shop's right, a dirt parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass and then eventually trees. The bait shop is closed. Well, we should be able to go into Shannon's workshop since Shannon is here. Conway and Shannon walk around to the side of the building into the workshop. The walls are lined with cheap metal shelves, loaded precariously with vacuum tubes, awkwardly shaped metal casings, and coffee cans full of electronic components. Shannon leads Conway to the back of the room, where a few TV sets in various states of disassembly are set up on a rough wooden table. She flips the switch on the power strip they're all plugged into, and the TV sets tremble to life. Seems smart to have partially disassembled TVs plugged in. What could go wrong? Let's watch them. Conway watches the TV sets. A ghostly white wobble flickers along one screen in a rhythmic pattern. Another is just snow. A third, a small security monitor in the middle of the table, is oscillating between different shades of black. Conway asks Shannon where she saw Weaver. Shannon points to a small security monitor on the table. The image on the screen is just black, but it seems to be fading slowly, almost imperceptibly, between different shades of black. Shannon tweaks a few knobs on the side of the monitor, but the picture doesn't change. I'll stare at it. Conway stares directly at the security monitor. The screen is a cavernous black. It hums and swells at the pace of the tide. Conway loses track of the workshop's walls. They could be inches away, or miles. He is adrift on black water, traveling swiftly toward a rocky shore. There should be a lighthouse or a buoy by these rocks. It's too dangerous. Shannon switches off the power strip. Weaver is not here. All right, back to the farm then. Feeling kind of sick. The only answer is to go to the pharmacy. What happens if I go to some of these other places with Shannon? Doesn't look like anything different is happening just because Shannon is with me. Well, you can't have everything, I suppose. Mammoth Cave, Mammoth Cave. What if I go to Dos Equis, though? Pharmacy. Scene 9. Equus Oils. Needs more glowing D20. I do have the D20 sitting on a 1. Can I talk to Joseph and introduce him to... Oh, that's right. I, like, hurt my leg. I'm limping around. Who's that? It's me. Well, here you are. Better get going, though. Uh-oh. Who's that? It's me. Oh, that sounds like one of the Marquez ladies. Well, I know it's not Remedios. She's back out in Knoxville these days, so... Hello, Shannon. How's the economy treating you? My friend is looking for the Zero. You know how to get there? Knoxville. Oh yeah, that old delivery driver. What do you think of that guy anyway, just between us? He smells like leather. Well, a lot of drivers keep one arm out in the sun all day. Could be worse, I guess. There's a cable guy comes through here pretty regular. And he smells like warmed up fish food. Well, it's like I told him, I can't get you folks to the Zero, but I bet you can get there, especially now with the two of you. Okay, fair enough. I need to get some healing on my leg, though. That's a shameful situation. With the amount of limpery going on. So it's a zero-sum game. It's time to go. The old Marquez farmhouse. The old burning tree. Scene 10. Scene X. I don't know. Marquez farmhouse. Here we are. Oh, I'm gonna be slowly limping my ass up this hill, huh? Good. Can I not proceed? No, I can. Oh, I see. Is she helping him up the hill now? Okay. He had to stop and then she had to help him. Oh, we can have a conversation about the graveyard. Nobody buried here, you know. It's decorative, I guess. Decorative tombstones of your family members. Or it's art or something. I don't know. A decorative graveyard. Weaver's folks were like that. Not morbid, I mean, but strange. Careless with tragic ideas. Oh, and look at that headstone. Marquez. I used to think that was from my parents. Now I don't know. Okay, pretty weird. Getting up these stairs is not going to be easy, given my current state of wounditude. Or apparently I'll just go trucking up there without even holding on to the railing. Whatever. I still don't see Weaver. What's happening right now? So this is where she was? Yeah, makes sense. This is where Weaver and her parents lived. They took out a bunch of loans, you know, and had this place built. Do you have any debts? I owe some people some apologies. Well, you're lucky that's all you owe. My parents were like that, until the company store found a way to get to them. For my dad, it was tokens to run the fans and air purifiers, and for my mom, it was canaries. Two solutions to the same problem, but they sure sounded different. Weaver had debt too. A lot of it. All tuition. She said she was a mathematician or something. Yeah, she studied some esoteric stuff about, something about using math to translate between Spanish and English. Oh? If you're skeptical of this story, then you're a non-believer. Okay, Knox. I think eventually Weaver put those math skills to work on all the red numbers in the family checkbook and got a clear sense of just how hopeless their situation was. So she left. Well, I guess she just drove away in the middle of the night. They woke up in the morning and the car was gone. Never came back. Until tonight. She seemed really focused on that old TV. Oh, well, it's not something you see every day. That old TV right there, well, that is a damned antique for you. I had a model like that in the shop once, but I had to sell it off to make rent. Most painful decision I ever made. Really? That's the most painful decision you ever made? Say, you mind if I open it up? It looks like the dials are all corroded, and the screen is leaking light a bit. Come on, I bet Lisette would never forgive you for letting a specimen like that fall into disrepair. I didn't let it fall into disrepair. It's not my TV. Somebody else gave it to me to bring here. TV tuning. Ah, yes, the barn with the horses. Oh yeah, these tubes are all messed up. Look like they've been in a swamp or a cave or something. There's moss growing on this one. That's okay, I have a few spares in my bag here. Here, I pulled this one out of an old computer monitor. Just needs to be recalibrated a bit. Recalibrated. Okay, that oughta... Should be seeing something now. Are you seeing anything? A little bit to the left. Damn, okay. Here, I think the contacts are dirty. Now don't go telling my customers I clean off old vacuum tubes with spit. There, just gotta turn it north-south, and look, we're in Kentucky. I'm sure spit is one of the more common cleaning agents in use. Just saying. Calibrating. Gotta turn it north-south. Ominous electronic drone. That cleaner is always within spitting distance. Look at that thing just trundling along. Oh, it's the Zero. Ominous drone intensifies. Is that the end of Act 1? Because that was pretty ominous. Screen. End of Act 1. Achievement unlocked, Act 1. Alright, up next, limits and demonstrations. Play. Limits and demonstrations. Work demonstrations. Okay. Oh, who am I now? I'm all these people, apparently. There's a horse, and a person, and a thingy, and we're going around in a circle. There's rustling paper and indistinct voices. There's TV static and distant electronic bell. Electronic drone and spinning coin. There's that thing. There's an exit. Limits and demonstrations. Wall text. Limits and demonstrations. A Lula Chamberlain retrospective. Lula was the person that was one of the three-way partnership of, you know, Joseph and Bob, or whatever the other person's name was. Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years, this retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. The pieces on display here were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range of scale and impact, from the intimate warmth of vertex texture fetch, that does sound both intimate and warm, to the infamous visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they describe the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display here also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Testing the frontiers of our patience sounds like something that Sardik would do. The infamous visage of Tunok Tunon. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want to be? I don't know. Do we? So here we have horse and star thing and books and a person. Title card, Basement Puzzle number 2. Artist, Sunset and Horse. 1976, plaster and wire. Oh, we're the 3 people that were playing the game. The gamers that lost their die in the beginning. What do you think she means by puzzle? Yeah, weird. I guess it's something you can solve. There must be symbols. Artist, sunset, horse. Or it's an anagram or like a code. Maybe it's not a puzzle, but it's just about a puzzle? What would change if you put back the D20? Maybe it's a puzzle, but there's no right answer. That is kind of sad. What? What? And here we have... What? I mean... I don't know what I'm looking at here. Overdubbed Nam June Paik installation in the style of Edward Packer. 1965, 1973, 1980. Magnetic tape, handheld tape playback head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, I read about this one. It's interactive. What's it about? It's an installation by a different artist, made an audio tape, and then she took it and recorded over all the tape with her own sounds. You can listen to it by running this tape playback head around on it. Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. But it really doesn't. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in an office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. The door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punched cards on the floor. A synthetic voice recording, spliced awkwardly into the tape, lists out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. This is some sort of, like, tape-based game. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape.
Encoded in the holes punched through these cards is a first draft of the poetic subsystem. I can't read punched cards by sight. Donald can, I think. Anyway, this version was pretty underwhelming.
Okay, we've heard that before.
Activate computer.
Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape.
So loud. I love it. I am now holding 2 punched cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled a note. Caves. The other is blank.
To insert Caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. Caves card.
We're on a dirt trail in the park. Or, well, it's not really a trail.
Donald, distant. It's a trail!
It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking.
Walking sounds.
Now we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rock as the ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope.
Adventurer's rope.
Down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I.
To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. That's the only choice? Yeah, that's the end of that one. So 65 degrees, 4 inches.
That's the last trip. So everything's down here now.
The final resting place. Don't be so morbid.
To remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. Remember, it's morning now. I'm in the car. I'm driving to work. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows. I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here is a story. When I met Donald and Joseph, they were both students, and I was in a band performing on campus. They came to my show, and then we met at some bar and had a few drinks together. Joseph wanted to impress me, so he stole a metal cocktail tumbler and gave it to me.
Oh yeah, that's always impressive. So, you on Tumblr? You are now! I don't know. I'm tumbling head over heels for you. Just saying. Alright, stole a tumbler.
We got kicked out, wandered drunkenly until morning, and finally ended up at a diner. And now I use the tumbler to store extra pens on my desk. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I drive. No instructions?
No, that's the end of this tape strip. I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there?
Maybe we missed something. Can we skip back a bit?
Okay, sure. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Let's check out the regret this time.
It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow. And then who knows?
What am I hearing right now?
I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened. So, here is a story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years, and I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in that whole time. They each thought I'd done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. But I don't think they ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico. Or... Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me.
It's cold.
So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. I guess we should stop then.
You feel done? I don't.
Is there anything else we can do here?
No, that's the end of this tape strip.
I won't tell a soul.
Another strip of tape. Think of our work! Our research! You'll die in these damn cold caves. What about those men? You know they'll come back. We'll go deeper, that's all. They'll never find us. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface.
Stop. Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damned cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. But I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down the Zero.
I'm taking my station wagon and going home. You'll be lost forever. But we need your voice for the machine. Lula, it only recognizes your voice.
I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damned machine does with it.
Oh. Okay, well that was odd. Some paper and indistinct voices. Here's a thing. This is definitely very much a thing. Title card, Visage, 1984, unknown media.
What is that made of?
It's a mystery. Looks like ribbon? Bandages? Oh, have you seen The Invisible Man? It's... Slice a visage to build a visage. A puzzle to its owner. What? Ben is talking what I'm talking right here. It's a poem I read. I think it was written by a computer.
Sounds like it.
Okay. TV static and distant. And there's like a pendulum swinging lamp up above it. Title card, Vertex Texture Fetch. Oh, this is so warm and intimate, you guys. Tree television and suspended cathode ray tube, 1968, found materials.
The picture on the TV.
What is that? It's a lighthouse? No, that's Ben.
What is that? It's a lighthouse?
No, it's a weather vane. Or a windmill or something. Is it a lighthouse? I guess we don't know. Electronic drone and spitting coin. Spinning coin suspended, correcting for angular motion. 1976, found materials.
Didn't you have one of these?
Oh yeah, I did have an old microfilm reader like this. I got it at a garage sale. Couldn't figure out what to do with it. That's my whole shed. Just a bunch of weird, obsolete electronics I thought I might use.
Someday.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I'll just sell them for scrap when the price of lead and plastic goes up.
I guess everything gets broken down eventually.
This art installation is not quite to my taste. I don't really like most art that's been produced in the last 50 or more years. I don't know. I like classical art. All this weird modern, postmodern shit. I haven't taken enough art appreciation classes to get it. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go.
Yeah, this show is exhausting.
Achievement unlocked, lemons and demonstrations. Great. I feel so achieved. Achieved? I don't know. Let's go for Act 2. Launching. Office workers talk indistinctly. Uh-oh, we got some work demons. Achieve it, the cops. Attention, Lula Chamberlain, RE, your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably, we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. Hashtag windblown chicken. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect. Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Imagined architecture sounds like something I could do. As long as it doesn't have to become actual architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Note, sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your Robert. Luna ain't got no time for this shit. Right into the wastebasket. And then we're gonna label, let's check out some proposals or open a folder of writing paper. Let's look at that writing paper. To herself, quietly. Oh, I can write back to Robert or to Dr. Stone Norden. Oh, we're gonna write a sassy letter back to Dr. Stone, I think. Attention.
Dr. Stone Norden, R.E., your own imagination. Thank you for your most informative letter. I was ecstatic to hear of your record-breaking success in receiving over 100 applications.
What a triumph. I feel like this is very insincere. What a triumph. That's such a great phrase to say to somebody if you don't really mean it. Like, they brag about some shit and you just like deadpan like, what a triumph.
As you know, my application process includes several minutes of photocopying, undertaken on my lunch break. Regrettably, I must be extremely selective in my fellowship applications, so as to leave, and this is a great letter, so as to leave enough time in which to eat my lunch. And in the successive years, I will no longer be contributing to your illustrious submission count. Yours, etc., Lula Chamberlain, Artist, Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces.
This is amazing. What a triumph. Okay. That is so much better than whatever nice letter she... Oh, shit. It's Carrington. Carrington clears his throat. I apologize. I thought you were on the telephone. Are you busy?
Just thinking out loud.
There's no shame in it. After all, speech is a kind of thought. At our best, we think before speaking, but we rarely think while speaking. So where do our thoughts go, then? It may be that they reverberate out into the room, dissipating in hallways or getting trapped in some resonant corner of... So, my own thoughts are wandering, clearly. I've got a lot on my mind, clearly. Well, I'll come straight to it, then. The clerk upstairs tells me you've been assigned to my proposal. I've heard nothing in weeks, and I assumed it had been swallowed up by some dragon of administration. But... Lula, my situation is desperate. I have hours. Hours! I must find a suitable venue for my play in time for its sunrise debut, or the last decade of my life will have been a vision within a dream. A fragment. This fucking guy. All these artists. What's up, son? How you doing? Good to see ya, SG. Sunny Delight. Dude, stop. Impossible. Look, I'm not going to pull a Michael here.
I haven't had a chance to review it, to be honest.
I see. Of course, you're quite busy. I understand completely. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Lula. I'll go now. Oh, Lula, I thought you might like to know I saw Joseph this evening just after sunset. We sat for a bit, drank some cold coffee, and talked about university days. Better days.
What's this then? It's Kentucky Route Zero. Maybe for him.
Seems like Lula wasn't too thrilled about the time she spent with Joseph and Hector, or whatever the fuck the other guy's name was. Act 2, Scene 1. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. It's a very specific thing to have a bureau for. Oh, Shannon and Conway and Homer are here. But what are we doing here? This leg is getting kind of stiff now, Homer. I don't know if that's a good sign. I'm no doctor, not by a long shot. Didn't we just pass this place?
I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So, what is this place?
What do you think?
When I got my electrician's license, I had to go to this government building in Frankfurt. Kind of low to the ground, a bit older. Didn't really look like this place, I guess, but they all have that same feel. Bureaucracy in the air. Too much concrete. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now?
Both.
Huh, okay, very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction.
Kind of old and low to the ground. Is she talking about me? I'm still limping around with my hurt legs, so that's a thing. There's apparently an underground river flowing. My doggo still looks like he could use some more jerky. And here's a barrier.
End of the line?
Maybe it's still under construction.
Well, work seems to have stopped for the moment.
Indeed it has. Seems to have. Is there somewhere else I can, go? Oh yeah, I can just walk past it. I'm gonna reclaim some space. Hell yeah, I am. All your space belong to me. There's a bell, or I can just walk right in here like an asshole. There's some work demon offices up above. I think that's Lula right there working at her desk, isn't it? Looks like he's waddling when seen from behind. Yeah, well, he hurt his leg real bad in a mine just recently, so it's amazing he's walking at all. Desk bell rings, in case you couldn't hear that. But then if you couldn't hear that, you also couldn't hear me saying desk bell rings. Receptionist, I'm ready to get received.
Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Want to settle a bet? Alright, that's not the right voice for Shannon. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? Can you be both inside and outside at the same time? Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing? Or are you just lost? Yeah, I guess it is a bit philosophical. Huh, okay. I wouldn't say you're dressed like a philosopher.
Oh, really? And how the fuck does a philosopher dress? Did you expect me to roll up in a toga?
Oh? How am I dressed?
You work, like me.
I take care of the heating and cooling and watch the front desk. You know, at first I thought you were here delivering whiskey for our little celebration. But you don't look like one of the boys from the distillery either.
What do the boys from the distillery look like?
You've never seen the boys from Hard Times? Well, count your blessings. They cut a grim profile.
Distillation.
Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through.
We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is?
Dogwood. Nope. You're going to need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks. But first, we've got to get you in the system, so you'll need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks.
Okay, I didn't sign up to get eaten. We just showed up at Cannibalism R Us, and they're like, we need to talk to an ingestion clerk so we can figure out how to properly prepare and season your meat. What's up, Splode? Good to see ya. How you doing, man?
Now, let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on a site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There are some books over there in the waiting area, or just take a look around.
She just gave us permission to take a look around with no restrictions. That means we can now literally wander into any part of this building we want, legally.
Have you seen our grotesques? That doesn't sound like something I want to see. It means you can steal the fridge and make a tower out of it to climb on the head of a statue. Take a look around. What is going on? Splode. The television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape. It must have once belonged to a different crab. Oh, those shell-swapping crabs. What a bunch of rascals.
Those crabs are playing the shell game.
Got some issues with health. Oh no. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Splode. I hope you feel better. The television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair, plucked off of her head as she screams and cries. Wait, what? The nest is warm, but precariously frozen. We're watching a Alfred Hitchcock movie!
The nest is warm but precariously fragile. Aren't they all? Just got a wheel of the good stuff. Ah, nobody has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Divinity Original Sin. You know, they made a Divinity, or they're making a Divinity Original Sin board game, and they did a Kickstarter for it, and as one of the stretch goals, they added a miniature of the cheese vendor to the game. I'm guessing you played Divinity Original Sin last night. Sitting down here to get away from it. Supposed to go to your uncle's birthday dinner. I mean, who really goes to uncle's birthday dinners? Television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passenger should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of a successful elevator design. I disagree. I like feeling like I'm ascending or descending, hopefully at an alarming speed. But, you know, I guess I'm not the average elevator consumer. Valid excuse. That's all a person really can ask for in life, is valid excuses not to do all the things that people want you to do. All the elevators around here are made of fail, apparently. Well, yeah, most of the elevators in the world probably are. Why are there all these weird little TVs everywhere? What is this goofy place? The television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations. A hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. Exciting. If you scoff at the concept of elevator design, then you're condescending. Wow. Wow. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. A microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dimmed. The speakers hum impatiently. Alright, the first thing we need to fucking do, because this is now getting obnoxious, is calm this volume down. You've decided to become a Twitch affiliate, by the way. Congratulations. You too will soon be well on your way to earning a vast $100 a year. Your original offer had expired. Oh. So you had to get a new offer. How does that work? Hey, Marianne, we're going to talk to you in a second. You said look around, so we're going to look the fuck around. Including any places you don't want us to go. If there's a sign that says do not enter, I'm going to say yes, but this is trumped by the specific permission we were granted by Marianne. Books. 3 books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump. Oh! There's a page turner. That's some exciting reading. Some architectural plans for a bungalow and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. That sounds reasonable. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. Oh, we gotta look at this envelope, though. The envelope reads, Bureau of Secret Tourism. Alright, I'm intrigued. I have to do one more stream to get the offer again. Okay, well, you should probably do that. I mean, not right now, but, you know, at some point. It contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Oh, I like that. Can we take that? Can we add that to the inventory? I want the secret brochure. I don't know how you're supposed to, like... Oh, we did add it to inventory! What? The Bureau of Secret Tourism. Esoteric excursions for the intrepid and curious. All directions start from the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. River tunnels. These tunnels are a series of arterials excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated. Now the tangled vessel of marooned echoes. Need to get on this streamer money. Been a long ass time since I streamed anything. Yeah, you should be streaming. You want to be affiliated so you can have cool zebra emotes. I'll perma-ban them if they sub. What? Why? Because fuck giving Twitch a cut? Why? I spend many, many hours a day on Twitch. I wouldn't want them to, like, you know, be able to operate as a business or anything. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse direction. Oh, I already hate everything that this is talking about. This is some, like, Sardic directions. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. To return, simply find the feather again and turn around. Okay, that sounds like some really difficult directions to follow. Twitch is great. What are you talking about? The Dymaxion Gallery. A gallery of mislaid futures. Oh, mislaid futures. Nice. I mislaid my future a few times. It is so mislaid that it can no longer get laid. Abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. Phrasing. Yeah. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn around again and head just past the barn. To return to the bureau, find the TV again, and again turn around. Wow. Just past the barn. So that's the Dymaxion Gallery. Then there's the mineral springs. These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat youth from the pores of the cave walls. Its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of rejuvenated bathers. That sounds pretty good. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back to the talon. Turn again, and there you are. To return to the bureau, find the feather and again turn around. Wow, okay. Meditation tunnels. It is recommended as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns slowly like a breathing exercise. Right. Minnesota, my girlfriend. What a coincidence. The guy just got laid. Strammer was oddly not amused. I mean, it's such an obvious joke. How can you even get offended at it? You know what I'm saying? It's like asking somebody about the weather at that point. Drive clockwise to the Scarecrow, then turn around and head counterclockwise until you reach the pendulum. Reverse direction once more, keep driving clockwise, and you can't miss it. To return, find the Scarecrow again, turn around, and before long you'll be back at the Bureau. What the actual fuck? These directions, though. The Deep Valley. The site of an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps a casualty in a battle between God and dinosaur. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle, turn around, drive clockwise to the still, turn around, you're nearly on top of it. To return, find the bottle again, turn around, and head back. Happy hitchhiking! Oh, and there's a phone number. I wonder if I'll have an opportunity to call that number at some point. I should try calling it right now on my real phone and see what happens. Hold on. This game just fucking stepped out of the screen. Alternate reality game. You guys ready? It would be super amazing if somebody answered it and it was like a thing. I can't be the first person who's tried this.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
It's real. It's an actual thing you can call. That's so cool. But is there anything else?
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
5.
So, you don't remember dialing this number. You just sort of woke up with the phone pressed to your ear, ringing on the other end. Or maybe you thought you dialed a different number, but your digits betrayed you. Or there's a faulty connection somewhere out there in that spider web lattice of phone cords that covers all of creation. It must be kind of a nice feeling, really. It's like you and I just bumped into each other in the street or a little cafe. Say, next time you meet a stranger, call us back at extension 7864 and hand them the phone. We'd love to get to know them.
7864.
Welcome home.
Write that down.
For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4.
Shut the fuck up.
To hear these options again,
4.
press 0. So, you're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake? If you're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake is part of your spiritual practice, press 2. If you don't remember why you're holding the snake, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 0.
This is amazing. Game of the fucking year just for this.
Okay. What's the last thing you remember? Please describe your memory in as much detail as you are able, paying particular attention to any smells and sounds you may recall. Were you breathing through your mouth or your nose? What did the air taste like? And so on. Feel free to call again with extension 1618.
Write it down. 1618.
And tell us the whole story. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm going to go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name. Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Delia, take it easy now. What if all of this is just a reflection of a reflection? Now hold the silence while she processes that metaphysical curveball. Okay, what's Delia up to now? If she's staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around, press 2. And if she's just kind of limp, press 3.
Wriggling. Wiggle waggle.
Yikes! Okay, slowly. Slowly. Lean in like you're gonna kiss her. You really gotta make an impression here. I mean, it is crucial. Maintain eye contact to the best of your ability. When your face is just an inch from Delia's, let out a slow, gentle sigh. Let your breath warm up that frosty snake blood, you know? Gently. All right, where are we at? If the snake is breathing heavily, press 1. If she's curled around your forearm, press 2. If her tongue is extended, press 3.
This is absolutely amazing.
Okay,
2.
I want you to tense your arm muscles and then relax them, one by one. Take slow, shallow breaths. Tense, relax. Tense, relax. Try to focus all your thoughts on that blood coursing through your arm veins. Forget Delia is even there. Just you and your blood. There you go. Delia should be in a kind of a calm, thoughtful state now, so you can move on. So put that snake in some grass or something, but Delia be free like a snake should. And go ahead and wash your hands if you care to. I would.
Wow.
Welcome home. For historical sites
This is
along the
legitimately
Echo
amazing.
River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound,
There's so many
press
options.
3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0.
We need to hear some more snake possibilities.
So, you're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake? If you're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake is part of your spiritual practice, press 2. If you don't remember why you're holding the snake, press 3. To return to
2
the main
this time.
menu, press. Listen, I'm not here to kid glove your relationship with the Eternal. But how do you think that snake feels right now? I mean, is that snake in church or just you? All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm going to go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name. Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Delia, take it easy now. What if all of this is just a reflection of a reflection? Now hold the silence while she processes that metaphysical curveball. Okay, what's Delia up to now? If she's staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around, press 2. And if she's just kind of limp, press 3.
Staring.
Well, good. Now you've got her attention. Now, leading with your shoulder, slowly tilt your body to the left, always maintaining eye contact. Adjust your feet as necessary. You want to do a full rotation over several seconds. It's normal to feel a bit self-conscious. Try not to get tangled up in the phone cord, or next time plan ahead and use a cordless. All right, where are we at? If the snake is breathing heavily,
Phone cord.
press 1. If she's curled around your forearm, press 2. If her tongue is extended, press. You just point your tongue right back at her. If hers moves left, yours moves right, and so on. Maintain eye contact so she knows you're not making fun of her. There you go. Delia should be in a kind of a calm, thoughtful state now, so you can move on. So put that snake in some grass or something. Let Delia be free like a snake should. And go ahead and wash your hands if you care to. I would. Welcome home. For historical sites
Snake again.
along the Echo. So, you're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake? If you're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1.
Exchange.
You're holding this. Take another look at your snake. Not a bad snake, is it? Yeah, it's really nice. You got a good one. Can you bear to see it go? What's the other party bringing to this here swap? Press 1 if you still plan to go through with the trade. Press 2 if you're having second thoughts.
2.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm going to go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name. Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Delia, take it easy now. What if all of this is just a reflection of a reflection? Now hold the silence while she processes that metaphysical curveball. Okay, what's Delia up to now? If she's staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around,
This time
press
she's
2.
limp.
And if she's just kind of limp, press 3.
Limp.
If she's staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around, press 2. Well, your snake may be asleep. It happens. You've got to wake her up gently now. Whisper her something pleasant. Tell her why she wants to wake up. I mean, really convince her. I'll wait.
Sleepy snake.
All right, where are we at? If the snake is breathing heavily, press 1. If she's curled around your forearm, press 2. If her tongue is extended,
Breathing heavily this time.
press 3. Okay. Gently raise your arm above your head. Delia should just slide on down and come to rest on your shoulder. There you go. Delia should be in a kind of a calm, thoughtful state now, so you can move on. So put that snake in some grass or something, but Delia be free like a snake should. And go ahead and wash your hands if you care to. I would. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press
I think we've
1.
exhausted all the snake
For a
options.
guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound,
I can't believe they have a whole extra, like,
if you're holding a snake
mini
right now,
game
press 4.
inside an actual phone
To
number.
hear these options again, press 0. For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main
Organ
menu,
music.
press 5. Lucky you. Does it sound like this?
If you're hearing cow, 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 press 4. How long does this organ music go on? What the fuck? This is the craziest thing. Very organically. Now I really wish Disco Elysium had done something like this too. I now feel like anytime you ever make a game that's set in the modern age where there's phones, that you must do this. Something like this. The bar has been raised. This is a very long organ song, you guys. It can't go on forever, right? This is starting to be like the radio broadcast in Gibbous. Okay, organ music. I'm regretting my life choices now.
Press 1 if that's the music you're hearing. Otherwise, press 2.
I guess we'll go with 1.
In that case, I don't know where it's coming from. It's nice though, isn't it? Let's listen to it again.
No! Motherfucker! What a dick! No war! Why? We're being trolled so fucking hard right now. But we can't. We have to know what happens next. Let's listen to it again. If you were holding a snake. And then there were like 10 different options under the snake thing. In fact, oh, actually, we haven't even heard all the snake things because you can do the trade thing and then say that you do want to do the trade, which we haven't done yet. This could be a stream in and of itself. It basically is at this point. Oh, I need to know how many fucking people actually called this number. I feel like if you didn't actually call this number, you haven't even played this game. This gives me an idea. You could make a whole game like this. Imagine if you made a game that's kind of like you're running a pen and paper game where you're like the DM and you're just talking to them and then they get to make choices and you tell them what happened. You could make a whole game on a phone recording system. Bruh, there better not be another round of organ music. At the end, if they're gonna be like, is that the music you heard? And you'd be like, no. They're like, oh, was it?
Catalog of subterranean bird song, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5.
Something in the
To
dark.
hear these options again, the wet, rocky contours of the Echo River make for sometimes baffling reverberations that turn mundane sounds into weird, rattling symphonies. Like that. It can be a challenge to pick through the clamor and recognize even something as simple as water dropping in a metal bucket, especially in the dark. Here are some examples. When you hear a sound you want to know more about, just press 1. At any time, you can press 5 to stop. And that was a canoe tipping over from several miles away. That was someone burning a phone book.
What?
That was someone tearing up an electric bill. There was a phone ringing underwater. That was a motorboat's propeller failing. That was dirt being thrown on the lid of a coffin. and that was a canoe tipping over from several miles away.
I think we're looping now.
That was someone burning a phone book. For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. Now I'll play you several recordings
Oh no, here we
of
go.
Echo River birdsong. When you hear a song you want to know more about, just press 1. At any time, you can press 5 to stop. Ah, the lonesome teal. Ugly, spiteful little thing. That's the American grit piper. Huh? I thought they were extinct.
They're all the same.
The rock sparrow. Don't feed him. He'll come back with friends. You've got a gray-beaked grouse there. Not my favorite bird. That's a morning hummingbird. So named because they bury their dead.
What?
Ah, the lonesome teal. Ugly, spiteful little
It's all the
thing.
birds.
For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark,
This is legitimately
press
amazing.
2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
Main menu.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0.
Let's go flora and fauna.
For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, press
Different types of
0.
water?
The Echo River is best known for its plentiful waters, not their volume, but their diversity. There's surface water, deep water, big water, and small water. Water that moves quickly. Slower water. Water in a cup. There's the water you know about, the water you don't know about, and the water you only assume exists due to indirect evidence, like a rumbling sound behind a rock.
This is amazing.
Cool water, but also warm, and even warmer. Water that gets things clean. Water that only makes things dirtier. Water's both soft and hard. Water in living bodies. If you come across any other kind of water, be very careful. Call us back and dial extension 0464.
0464.
Just to be safe. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press
Honestly,
3.
I'm not gonna lie. Everything that's happening on this phone call is better than anything else we've experienced in the actual game so far.
Press
Language of bats.
Many find learning the language of bats to be intimidating, but it's really pretty straightforward. The most difficult part is getting your ultrasonic pronunciation right. See, bats have enormous, complex ears. For us, it's more of a struggle. Here, let's try some useful phrases. Repeat after me so you can practice your pronunciation. Here's how you say, I don't know where I am. Okay, here's how you could ask, haven't we met before? Great. And here's how you say, sorry, I must have left it in the boat. Now, a very useful phrase. It's a shame we didn't record that. Every conversation has to end. So here's how to say, I will write that down in case I forget it later.
Wow.
For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return to
Insect
the main
interactions.
menu, press 5. If you stop your boat somewhere cool, you may find yourself swarmed by insects. You may swat at them or cover your face, thinking they're all trying to bite you or buzz in your ear. But these insects are more interested in each other than they are in you. In fact, they've already forgotten you. They're back to chasing each other, breeding, competing over resources. Their minds are so shallow that while you've been standing there with your hands raised to your face, they've begun to think of you as part of the landscape, a funny-looking rock. This is what they sound like.
This is what they sound like. Let's listen to that again. The idea, like, if you're already dealing with insects, that you would need it to tell you what they sound like. It's the organ music all over again. If this is what they sound like, press 1. If not, press 2. I wonder how long they're going to keep this number up and running. I don't know. I hope it's for a long time. I hope it's for a long time. I may add this number to my contacts, you guys. Just so I can call him, dude. Imagine giving this number to people and pretending like it's your number. They would call and they'd be like, what the fuck is this? Especially on, like, business things. Or, like, when you have to sign up for something and they're like, give us your number. And you know they're just gonna call and fucking...
For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again,
Main
press
menu.
0. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar
Historical
sound,
sites.
well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take a driftwood inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6.
Options.
To hear these options again,
Let's just go with the
0.
first one.
Perhaps it's the violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face the moon, slowly changing the angle of its surface over time. Some sailors blame corked rocks. Whatever the geological explanation, the islands of the Echo River are mostly transient, rising and diving on some inscrutable schedule. The following islands are presently underwater. Nelson's Island. Island number 8192. Island of Ringing. Island of Interfering Tones. Ted's Island. This list is current as of now. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places,
Forgotten
press
places.
2. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3.
First
There is
one.
a town which has its own roads, but which no other roads connect to. They send and receive mail. There is a school, and so on. But what I want to tell you about now is the horses. There are horses living wild in this town. I forget how they got there. They don't stay in stalls. They sleep outside. They walk through the town, on the streets or on the sidewalks, and the people of the town think of them as elegant, wordless neighbors. For a diver's guide to underwater islands,
Back to
press
2.
1. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2.
Silo of late reflections, go.
We don't remember. There is a silo so tall and strange that it can take years for an echoing word to bounce from bottom to top and then bottom again. If you wait patiently, you may overhear the conversations of earlier visitors. I once had an argument there with a dear friend, but I forget what it was about, and we haven't spoken since. Maybe I'll go find out someday. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3.
Press 3.
I suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it. The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together. I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to forget, for fear that we'd accidentally do it again. There isn't a plaque or anything. I guess we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide
Amazing.
to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron
Restless
Pariah,
places.
press 4. For the cluttered place, press 1.
I'll take it.
There is a place always cluttered by debris floating along the water. Otherwise, it's unremarkable. In fact, the only way to find it is to notice that there happens to be more trash there than anywhere else around. I wonder why that is. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press
So they got
1.
this whole game with no voice acting, but then they've got like hours of voice acting on this call.
For the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press 2. There is a place that regularly floods. I first saw this place years ago when an acquaintance of mine, an artist, built an installation there. The work was very complicated. All of her artwork is. I remember it was made from huge piles of recycled newspapers. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to complete it before the flood came and wiped it out. The next time I passed by this place, it was full of young men and women on bicycles. They built a track weaving through the soggy ruins of my acquaintance's flooded artwork. The rising water level quickly made it too dangerous to ride in anymore, and many bicycles were crashed and abandoned. The last time I saw the place, it had been repurposed to store handmade pottery earmarked for sale out of state. By the time I arrived, it was just a pile of ceramic fragments dashed by floodwaters against rusting bicycles and gray pulp. I've heard recently that this place has been reclaimed again. Surely this time, things will be different. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press 2. For a list of the places where people can't sleep, press 3.
Sleep.
People can't sleep in the wet grass or on the bridges of New Königsberg. They can't sleep anywhere near Lake Letha because it's too large. Nobody can sleep with their toes in the river because it's too cold. People can't sleep where I sleep because I'm all knees and elbows, and anyway, there isn't enough room for both of us. I'm not sure if anyone can sleep on the deck of the Mucky Mammoth, but I'm certain they can't sleep on the trash barge because of the smell. If you have anything to add, please call us back with extension 7360.
7360.
For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah.
The Iron Pariah.
The Iron Pariah is just what she's called along the Echo River. Of course, she once had another name, but it's been scratched away, maybe out of shame, or maybe she took a bend too sharply and left her true name on a rock. So, what else? We know she was in the war, but neither side would claim her. We don't know if anyone's aboard. She drifts along the water and commands a wide berth. Tourists, if you hope to document the Iron Pariah, I fear you will be disappointed. She has a beguiling way of vanishing from photographs. Steer to shore and let her be carried along in silence. Pilgrims, I wouldn't dare to interfere. For
Wow.
a diver's guide to underwater islands, press
Yeah, what's
1.
up, Boss Pie? How you doing? This real world phone call is nuts.
Press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah,
So much holding
press
this snake.
4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main
5.
menu, press. For food, press 1. For drink, press 2. To return to the main menu, if you plan your journey along the Echo to be a slow and thoughtful one, you will surely want to eat. It's true, and even advanced preparation can still fail you. Maybe the food you've packed will fall in the water and be spoiled. Or it could be stolen by a bat. Well, the water sustains all travelers. Catch it yourself in the river, or have something prepared for you at this place out on the lake. The restaurant is called, well, it's out on Lake Letha. It has to be out there where the water is deepest. If you go early in the morning, you might see the diver bring in his nightly haul. Weird creatures from weird depths, fish, crabs, jellies, things we don't have proper names for at this elevation. Sam and Ida's, that's the name of it. Sam dives, Ida cooks. Unique fare and uncommon conversation, to say nothing of the decor. If you do stop by, tell them I said hello, and that they're always in my thoughts and prayers. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For food, press 1. For drink, press 2. The water is fine, but more adventurous tourists will surely be looking for stronger stuff. Move quickly along past any strangers with cheap bourbon flasks. You can get that hard times rot gut anywhere. If you're traveling by boat, you'll want the traditional seafarer's liquor. As it happens, there's a watering
Seafarer's
hole
liquor.
called the Rum Colony, wholly devoted to the stuff. You know, mixed with sugar and bright colors. I've heard it's excellent, but I never drink the stuff. I take my spirits clear. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press. For food, press 1. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2.
Oh, I
For help
forgot the other snake
identifying
thing.
an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0.
Snake.
So, you're probably not in any danger, but why
We
are
gotta
you
do the
holding
snake
that
trade.
snake? If you're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake is part of your spiritual practice, press 2. If you don't remember why you're... Take another look at your snake. Not a bad snake, is it? Yeah, it's really nice. You got a good one. Can you bear to see it go? What's the other party bringing to this here swap? Press 1 if you still plan to go through with the trade. Yeah, well,
Fun trade between
you're
friends.
probably right. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here
This
snake
leads to the same.
situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Well, I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her. I'm going to go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name. Try to follow.
Okay, hold on. Let's start over. Apparently, this phone number that I called is in Gracie, Kentucky. That first call was 50 minutes.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
3 this time.
The Bureau of Secret Tourism is supported by a generous population of river creatures whom I fix up and grill as necessary. I am environmentally minded, and I believe all creatures are equally deserving of support in their transition to the next world. So I usually try to sing a little elegy, like, small water creature, crab or frog. Now you know that sleep is all around us, like a muggy, tranquil fog. Something like that.
Wow.
It's easier to come up with these songs when I'm hungry in a sort of transcendental fasting state, but I've actually just had breakfast. A debt of gratitude is also owed to the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. who unselfishly and unknowingly donates this here telephone line for the purpose of this here information.
Unknowingly.
You can always find the latest secret tourism literature in any of our unmarked kiosks or any other old place it happens to lay. That's all I have to say about that. Hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, call us back at extension 1928.
1928.
You can press 0 now to go back to the main menu.
We have a lot of extensions now.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying...
I think we're on the point of calling some extensions now.
Press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0.
Alright, let's call back another time here. Alright. What are all the extensions we had? Let's go back. What was the very first one? $7864 was the first one.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
7864.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension, now is the time to dial an extension. Hello, stranger. What's the first thing you remember? When you're finished remembering, press the 0 button.
I remember darkness and death, cold ice crystals in my veins, and also butterflies.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1.
Do you think I actually left a message there, like, that they could listen to? Alright, what was the next extension? The next one was 1618.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims.
1618.
This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension, now is the time to dial an extension. Something else shook loose. Well, how nice is it? I mean, can you really smell it? Are you sweating it out now? Are your hands all damp? And when you brush your hair out of your eyes, it just tastes like... If your hands are damp, press 1. If your feet are damp in your socks, press 2. If you don't feel particularly damp anywhere, press 3.
One, I guess.
I had a feeling they might be. That's good. That's where it'll soak in, take a resting shape. Let's hear all about it. When you're finished explaining yourself, press the 0 button.
It's the purple, really. That's the worst. Most of the colors are fairly benign, but the purple, it has sharp edges. It digs at the corners of my mind. Sometimes if I focus on the green hard enough, the purple will fade, but not always.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo...
Okay, hold on. What the fuck are we doing with our lives right now, you guys?
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
This has been going on for so long, you guys.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. Now is the time to dial and... Something else shook loose. How vivid is it? I mean, can you really smell it? Are you sweating it out now? Are your hands all damp, and when you brush your hair out of your eyes, it just tastes like... Listen, if your hands are damp, press 1. If your feet are damp in your socks, press 2. If you don't... I had a feeling they might be. That's good. That's where it'll soak in and take a resting shape. Let's hear all about it. When you're finished explaining yourself, press the 0 button.
No. 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 This is not for you to know!
Welcome home. For historical sites.
Okay, hold on. Gotta try the dry one. We gotta try the dry one. Right? Right.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press... Now is the time to dial and... Something else shook loose. Well, how vivid is it? I mean, can you really smell it? Are you sweating it out now? Are your hands all damp, and when you brush your hair out of your eyes, it just tastes like... Listen, if your hands are damp, press 1. If your feet are damp in your socks, press 2. If you don't feel particularly damp anywhere, press 3. Oh, everyone has a damp spot somewhere in their body or mind. That's what lets us sort of squish a little when we try to remember something, muddy the details, right? Even if it's just that wet blood sloshing around in there. Your soggy heart, right? Let's hear all about it. When you're finished explaining yourself,
I mean, she looked perfectly at ease, not a muscle out of place on her face. But in retrospect, she must have been incredibly uncomfortable. The way she perched up in that tree, her limbs all at strange angles, her body contorted into a position that must have been painful over time, and yet she showed no sign of it. I didn't really think of it at the time, but later I realized that she must have been quite uncomfortable. But what can you do?
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press...
Fuck is happening right now? Okay, there's more. There's more extensions, you guys. There are more extensions. Okay, that was the first 2 extensions. Then there's 0464. You guys ready for 0464? I'm giving out this number to everyone from now on.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. Now is the time to dial an extension.
Variety of waters. Here we go.
Found some weird water, huh? All right. Better catalog it. Hold the phone up to it for a bit, and we'll record it for later analysis. Press 0 when you're done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Welcome home.
What is all this? Tarmac, I can't even begin to tell you what all this is. This is madness. Okay, we got 8192. We're going to try that one.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, now is the time to dial an extension. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension,
I don't think 8192 worked.
9. Now is the time to dial an extension. For a menu of our resources,
No, that one didn't
1.
work.
If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3.
There was
If you don't remember
7360.
dialing this number at all, press 5. Now is the time to dial an extension. All right then. Tell us why you can't sleep. When you're finished, 0 button.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but often it comes down to that one night, that cold winter night in a dark, unfamiliar place. I needed the money to fix my car, and it seemed like reasonable work. I mean, he wasn't a good guy. I was angry. I was just supposed to rough him up a little bit. Well, a lot, actually, but, you know, within limits. But I just hit him too many times with the billy club, and once his skull actually cracked, I realized I'd kind of crossed the line, and I just couldn't stop myself. I just kept going. You know, I was frustrated with so many things. My life had really been a mess up until that point, and there was just a lot of pent-up rage in me, I guess. And I justified it in my mind that, you know, that I was helping people, that I was protecting people in some sick way, but I'm never really going to forget the sounds that it made. That's one of the big ones. I mean, there's also other things like, you know, like why did I... Well, I that's probably enough. This recording's getting kind of long.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River.
I hope there's somebody that listens to these that's gonna be like, what the fuck? Alright, what else we got? We got 1928. That might be the last one, you guys.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau
Public service.
of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources,
1928.
now is the time to dive. I just want to listen to the wind blow. Or even better, television static. Can you tune your TV to a dead station and let the static play into the phone? When you're finished, press the 0 button. Thanks. Welcome home.
All right,
For
I
historical
think we're
sites
done
along
here,
the Echo
folks.
River, press 1.
I think we're done here. There's now spit all over the screen of my phone. That's good. Yeah, well, that was quite a fucking adventure. How long did that literally go on for? We called the number originally like an hour and 10 minutes ago. That was a 70-minute side adventure on the fucking phone from the number in the game. I, for one, am thoroughly fucking amused. The whole snake thing was fucking fantastic. It was fucking fantastic. Wow, where do we even go from here? That was intense. Other options under I can't remember calling this number. I don't know, maybe. I can't. I just can't. But we might find more 4-digit numbers in this game. And any 4-digit number we find in this game, you'd better fucking believe I'm calling. In fact, do we have any 4-digit numbers? What is that? 12005. Hold on. 1205. We gotta try it, right? We literally gotta try it. We gotta try it, guys. I've now called the number 9 times. Shit.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
What did I just say it was? 1205? Yeah.
For a menu of our resource, now is the time to dial an extension. For a menu of our resources.
Okay, that one's nothing. Alright, amazing, folks. The fact that there's a phone number on the back of this thing in game, and if you call it, there's a fucking hour's worth of recorded voice content is insane. Literally insane. Do you guys think I was actually recording things on those recording ones? Because what if there's somebody that, like, checks this and listens to those? No, I don't think so. You never know. It's fine. Either way, we had some fun. Alright, Marianne. If indeed that is your real name. It's not. Oh, good. I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient. You never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process. Again, ingestion process? But she's the only one with room on her plate this... Okay, no, we're leaving. I'm not getting eaten here. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor, reviewing some diagrams. The elevator is just back to the left there. 5th floor. I don't trust it, y'all. I don't trust it. This whole ingestion thing on your plate... Reclaimed spaces. What does that mean? Reclaimed human eating spaces. I don't know. I got nothing. Let's go up. I wonder if this is a properly designed elevator. Ding dong. Cheerful, tinny elevator music. She's on the 5th floor, right? Conway scans a column of elevator buttons. Oh, hell no, we're not going to the 5th floor. We're going to all the bullshit floors first. 1st floor, clerk's offices. Hello? Are you lost?
Very much so, yes.
Okay, well, let's get you pointed in the right direction then. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. Fucking Rick. Not to be confused with Cool Rick. You guys seen The Patriot? Not the Mel Gibson movie, but the Amazon Prime Video show. It's really good, actually. 5, let a piece go anywhere on the board in that tabletop game. And 5 was the number that let you go back to the menu in that phone call. 5, 5, 5.
Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses.
Ingestion card.
Oh, no ingestion card? Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Bohm first, and he'll get you set up with one. Clerk Bohm is just over there in the corner. Happy to help.
How many of these fucking clerks am I gonna have to talk to? Howdy! Here for an ingestion card? No problem. He rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know there are some back in the archive. You'll have to put in a special request with Clerk Macmillan. She's the document czar. Documents czar. That sounds like a type of work demon. Straight back at the end of the office there by the file cabinets.
This is just a runaround. Where's Lula Chamberlain?
Oh, no, that's her right there in the cardigan. I don't want to talk to Lula. I want to talk to that other clerk. I want to get the runaround from clerks. Why did they try to send me up to the 5th floor when Lula's actually on the 1st floor? Well, I'll be damned if we're going to talk to Lula right now. Oh, we can't even go to other floors now? Oh, we can. No, we can. We gotta fuck around with other floors first. Document czar is definitely one of the orders of work demons. I know. Do you know what time it is, you guys? That's right. It's ice time. It's ice time. It's ice time. It's ice time. Ice time. Ice time. It is time for ice. Oh, shit. What? It's ice time. It's ice time. It's ice time. It's ice time. Ice time. Ice time. It is time for ice. Alright, I had to gaffle up some ice real quick, as one does. Alright. I got an appointment finally with a new psychiatrist named Dr. Singh, and I'm just hoping when I go in there it's going to be straight bardsmanship. How are the medications treating you? Have you been sleeping well? If Dr. Singh is like that, I'm gonna be so happy. Maybe I should be like that the whole time. I'm gonna end up back in the mental hospital. And then when they ask me why I'm doing that, I'll be like, your name is Dr. Singh. I'm trying to, you know, follow protocol. No, not a good idea. Okay. Bardsmanship. Just try to insinuate myself into your good graces. Okay, her office is down on the first floor. Fuck the first floor. Ain't nobody got time for the first floor. Second floor, conference room. Let's see what kind of conference is going on. See if people are conferring. They're just up here playing that role-playing game from the beginning. That'd be funny. We lost our die, and then I could give them the die that I have. No. Conference room is apparently... Whoa! Look at this! There's an organ over here. Organ music. Is it the same organ music? Also, I've clicked a thing and... Is that guy sitting there with a little barbecue? What am I seeing? So melancholy. That is a huge-ass organ. Okay, why is there a huge organ in this government office building? Shit be getting weird, yo. Help with reorganization. Do you have a work demon with an organ where you work, Knox? Let's listen to it again, he said. That was amazing. Not in the buildings. For those issues, we have to contact JP Morgan. Wow. Wow. Your company must be disorganized then. A veritable smorgasbord of music. This is pretty good. I'm jamming out to this. This is a bop. This is a real banger. This is lit. Those are the things they say, right? Imagine if you had to listen to this and you couldn't leave. Then it would be trap music. Imagine if when you were this one's really dumb. Imagine if when you were walking away from this, there was actually a sound played over the sound of your footsteps that was somebody else's footsteps. Then it would be dubstep. That was shit. That was literally just shit. Imagine if you were charged for listening to it, you'd be forced to pay the piper. Wow. Hey, Amaranth. Welcome. Good to see you. How you doing? You missed out on something truly spectacular. I can't even. I can't even. The phone call. You have to. Achievement unlocked organ performance. So I wonder if I got an achievement for listening to the whole thing. To make a long story short, Amaranth, we found this brochure in the game and we flipped through it. And we got to the end and there's a phone number here. So I called the phone number in real life and there was an hour's worth of like stuff on there. Like different choices and recordings and things you could listen to that were crazy. It was truly majestic. And I got to record some messages myself, although I'm not sure if, you know, there anything that anyone... That is some game design, yeah. Third floor, bears. I like they just have a room that says bear, floor for bears in their office. Oh my god, and it's literally full of bears, you guys. I guess I should have read the sign. This is some very placid bears. I like how they're no barrier to our progress. They seem to find our presence quite bearable. Well, unfortunately there's barely anything to do on this level. If you brought your camera, you could have a Kodiak moment with them. It's a good thing they didn't maul me. I would have met a grisly end. What? I'm not going to pause on this floor too long. I've got further things to do. Let's check out archives and records. They must be restricted to the 3rd floor by a clause in their contract. Yes. Man, compared to the floor below, it's hard to get my bearings on this one. Unfortunately, I can't open any of these because I don't want to damage my hands. To do so, I would need to wear boxing gloves. You're forced to take them with you, you would be heavily encumbered. Let's check out diagrams and drafts. I'll chart a course to this level. Name checks out. I do feel a breeze up here. Drafts. What's up with this record player? Beethoven's Symphony No. 3 plays on record player. He's working with such gusto. What does he do when he needs advice? He calls his diagramma. A 5 though, he's gone with the wind. You know why this guy got this job? Because he was the #1 draft pick. Alright, clerk. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. When he leaves, he tells his coworkers, "Breeze seeing you." Wow. Wow. Wow.
Can I help you? Don't answer that.
Sorry, we're looking for an ingestion clerk.
Oh no, I'm an interior spatial analyst. I can't help you with that. I think the ingestion clerks have all gone home for the night.
Lula might be able to help you. She's pretty senior. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now on the first floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which... Don't say speaking of which and then stop speaking. Well, if this song doesn't finish playing, it's never gonna win a diagramming. Bears. Makes me happy. I like how the game is just getting more absurd as we go on. At least Greg was honest and didn't try to swindle you. He was a pretty gregarious chap. You certainly didn't get aggravated easily. What? What, Josiah? I don't know. If he did, though, the others in his congregation would have been unhappy. Oh, wow. We're back down here on the first floor. Wonder if there's a prime number of people here. I'm sorry. What floor is this? Uno? I could ask somebody. Alright, Lula. Let's have this combo. Uno? One can only wonder. Wow.
Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me.
Arthritis.
Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go?
We're having trouble navigating the zero.
Just navigating, apropos of nothing? The zero doesn't work like other roads. You can't just drive and expect to find yourself somewhere. You must be more deliberate than when driving on surface roads. And, in a way, much less deliberate. We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. A grimy old house. Basement full of insects. Attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the zero? My cousin Weaver sent us this way. Your cousin Weaver? Weaver Marquez? Apparently everyone knows Weaver. I hadn't expected to hear from her again.
Yeah, we can't just let anyone in to talk to her. If you wanna meet with her, you have to sign a waiver.
What does that mean? We used to exchange short emails, but just these terse descriptions of things we saw throughout the day. It was sort of a joke between us, but they stopped. I assumed she'd found something better to do with her time. I hope she wasn't in trouble. I lost touch with her so suddenly. I had recommended she go see some old friends of mine at the university about a new acoustic surveying venture. I often worry she became wrapped up in some tenured professor's quixotic research project. You know the type. Gray-haired, intellectual, narcissistic. Well, that is. I guess she sent you here because she respected me. Thought I could help. Weaver's a dear girl, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me.
But where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one?
No, it's not possible. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer.
That makes sense. Her favorite Christmas song is Sorely Greens Weaves. That one was a real serious stretch. That was some Inspector Gadget ass shit right there.
The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large-leafed Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is still just Dogwood Drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here.
Where's the computer?
Computer? Oh, that's all handled off-site. We write up a formal request for analysis, provide the necessary data, and then send the whole thing out by courier.
That seems really efficient.
So first you'll need the data.
We don't have a computer here, but we do have a giant organ and a floor full of bears. I would honestly work at this place.
So first you'll need the data. I expect you'll find the road name change log up in Archives and Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under 0 or O. It'll be fired under O for odonyms, probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed.
Wow, that's a lot of possibilities. Okay. Okie dokie. So they have all these streets categorized by the computer because it requires some deep thought. What is the question? Hey, what? No! Let's go to Archives and Records. I don't want to have to repeat myself. I don't like sounding like a broken record. And there's literally a broken record on the 5th floor.
Archives and Records, so 4th floor?
Archives and Records. It's just a floor called Bears, full of bears. Figuring out the answer to the question depends on if you have fortitude to handle it. Holy shit! Wow. Wow, that is just... Wow. Honestly, I could see you make that joke over and over. 6 times, 7. Documents.
Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging.
The small logbook has a smart leather cover. A few notes are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles, names, and dates. Inside front cover. Note in logbook. Document staff, please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get the new file cabinets in. We're up to F, and that will have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. Imagine. I'm sorry, we can only deal with topics here that from the letters A through F. Page 1. Several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Page 14. A single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out and backed in by several different people within a few hours. Unusual. Check out the inside back cover. Failing antique shops folder missing. Listed checked in on page 63, but not present. Hey. I work for an antique shop delivering. Related. Guess we'll put it away.
Nothing? Me neither. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled, and the rest are all from the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look.
In before the answer is on the bears level. You're allowed to have bears because that's a B. You could also have cows because that'd be both bovines and cows. And bulls. All good for the letters. And cattle. And barns. And not barnyard, anything but barnyard. Didn't you say your birthday was sometime around now? Ish. Lula. Okay, Lula. Apparently you have to be standing in a very specific spot for Lula. What? Come the fuck on. What do I have to do to talk to Lula? Your birthday is in March? Cool, Amaranth. Happy birthday, Nox. Yeah, when is your birthday?
Nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, they must still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress.
Oh, wait, your birthday was 2 days ago? Holy shit. Happy birthday. I could do a Noxmoo appreciation stream this weekend to celebrate your birthday. And we'd have to do all sorts of nonsense that you want. Like find the invisible cow and cow-related movies and such. They must still be in transit.
You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not so long ago, can you believe it?
Alright, that does explain the organ.
And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect. At the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed.
I gotta go to the church.
Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at night. His home office is in a small neighborhood on the east edge of Bowling Green.
Okay.
Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight.
And before his card has a phone number on it.
Take care of each other.
Where is his card? His alleged card. I guess we're going to find some church, some doctor's office, some general shenanigans. Wrong one. I'm literally on that floor already. I accidentally went to the same one that I was already on. I must be from Florida. Can't find what she gave you, then the problem must be missing cartilage. Look, it gets confusing in here with all this fluorescent lighting. What is all this? Are these rats? Or something? They're crabs. This crab is wearing an empty inkjet cartridge as a shell. What even is my life? This crab is wearing a dense chain of paper clips as a shell. What is up with these weird-ass crabs? When they're goofing off, they like to play Scrabble. They look hungry. Better get some crab apples. I hope my truck works. Otherwise, we'll have to call a crab. Okay. Get what you need? Be straight with me. What is this place? Just another office, lady. Just another job. But you kicked out a congregation to set up your office? I wasn't here for that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of some of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. When they send office memos, they use crustaceanary. Okay. Crustaceanary? Crustaceanary. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the zero and drive until you hit the crystal, then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. Right, it'll make sense. Just like all these other wackadoo directions that I've got to all these places. Wackadoo, I said. Can I even... There's my doggo. So wackadoo. Wackadoodle-doo. This crab is wearing a manila folder as a shell. What is up with these crabs? This crab is wearing a pencil cup as a shell. Wow. Truly. Get back in the truck, finally. Head back into the night. Into the night. Oh, we're in the super weird way of getting around now. Find the crystal and then turn around. This seems like a good place to call it for the night. I think we're gonna go ahead and quit out to the circle. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Kentucky Route Zero.